Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, MidPokeMaster here, and today I'm going to be doing my IBL D-League Season 2 draft analysis. So, this league is obviously the D-League for the IBL, ran by Dark Devil 26, aka Brendan, aka Orangaroo, because that's what he looks like and smells like. So, he's a good pal of mine. We've been in a league together. He's pretty cool. So, I applied for his D League and he let me in, which is shocking, but there are some amazing coaches in this league. I don't know all of them personally, but I know most of them. Like, let me go check the server. We have OP Jellicent, Itsock, Sharpedo 43, because other there was 42 others. We got my dad, PokeMaster Mike. We got the boy D-Train that we've known from PTL and NSTL. Great battler. Dr. Slacking. It's D. Willie. Gray from Commissioner of NSTL and PTL. Great guy. And Platinum Howler. So, it's only a 10-coach league, so there's only going to be 9 weeks with, I think, top 6 people making playoffs, so that's really good for us. And Brendan was talking about, like, 4 people getting promoted to main league, which it would be exciting to get there. So yeah, so let's get started on with our draft analysis. So we could draft from, I believe, 9 to 11 mons. It was like this was a points draft, but it felt like a mixture between points and tierings. So it was something I felt like I've done before, but I've never actually done before. And I felt like I came out with a pretty broken team, really good. So, as you can tell, as long as I've been rambling, my first pick was Garchomp. I had 4th pick out of 10th, with the first 4 mons being, man, I just had this pulled up, with number 1 being Kartana, met Tapu Koko, then Kartana, and then as you can see, Celesteela went right before me, which I really was looking at, but I could have got Lando T in the slot, but I wanted Garchomp because I haven't got to use this thing in a long time. If you guys have watched my content since the very start, last time I had it was EBT Season 5. So it's been a long time, and I loved it there, so I'm really excited to use it again. I made this thing my Zmon. It cost 180 points to draft, so it really made it hard to choose another Zmon to go with it. But Garchomp's amazing with its base 130 attack, 108 HP, 95 defense, 80 special attack, 85 SPDF, and 102 speed. So it already outspeeds all those base 100s, which everybody likes to draft. Instead of Swords Dance, it's a great choice Scarfer. It has 2 stabs that most people look to get immunities to, but they can't switch into each move with like each stab, so it's really good. Gets fire coverage with Fire Fang and Fire Blast. Gets Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Outrage. I can even see using this thing like a special choice specs with like Draco Meteor and Dragon Pulse and Earth Power. This thing is versatile, but it even gets Stealth Rocks. I can't remember if I said that. But this thing is known to be physical, but it can do so many different things. It can be physically defensive, physical special. I'm really excited to use it this season, and I'm excited to see how it goes out for the rest of the season. So next mon, well actually, I started out building my Fairy Dragon Steel core, because I feel like that's more important than like the Fire Water Grass core, just because these are easier to go early on. So I wanted to get that done as soon as possible. I'd already got my dragon. I'd got a ground type, which everybody looks for to stop Volt Turn and electric type moves. So I thought, man, what mon should I get to start working my Fairy Dragon Steel core after this? So I said, man, I should pull an A-Drive and draft Alolan Ninetales. It's so good in League format, even though it has 81 special attack only, it hits hard. Has 73 HP, 67 attack, 75 defense, 81 special attack, 100 SPDF, 109 speed. So another fast mon. Gives me Aurora Veil. Gives me 8 turns of it if I run Light Clay. This thing gets Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Calm Mind, Dark Pulse. This thing also has some niche moves like Disable and Encore. It gets Foul Play, which could be fun if something thinks it can set Sword Dance up on me, like a Mega Gallade, and it thinks Moonblast won't do much. I'll just go for Foul Play. Gets Ice Shard if I want priority. Moonblast. I love the Nasty Plot set. It's so good in my opinion. It even gets Roar and Toxic and Substitute. So it can do so many. It's known just for Aurora Veil, but I love how it's so hard for monsters to switch into its stabs. Its best switch-ins are Steel types, but most Steel types don't want to take two Choice Specs Blizzards from a Ninetales, and it won't miss the Blizzards because it has Snow Warning, so that makes it even better. So I love me some Alolan Ninetales. It'll most likely be named Emma Frost, like how A-Drive does, just because I love that nickname with it. So now I've got my Fairy and my Dragon, so now I just need a Steel type. And I know round 2 was early for Alolan Ninetales, but I didn't want to miss it just because I love this mon, and I felt like my round 3 pick wasn't going to get taken. I decided, yeah, I'll go with this next pick. So I'll go with Alolan Ninetales first. So next pick, I was looking at some good Steel types. I didn't want like a super high tier one, but I still wanted a high tier Steel just because I feel like those are usually better than the lower tier ones, because the other ones you'll bring to maybe like 2 games just because they aren't very good. So I decided to draft something I haven't used in a long time, and that's Scizor. I love Scizor. It has 70 HP, 130 attack, 100 defense, 55 special attack, 80 SPDF, and 65 speed. It helps me with my speed tiers a little bit, so bulkier mons have to run at least a little bit of speed, outspeed it. This thing is Technician boosted Bullet Punch, making it 60 base power instead of 40, which always helps. It does give me another fire weakness paired with Alolan Ninetales, but it's going to make my opponent choose between if they want to bring HP Ice or HP Fire, since I have 2 4-time weaknesses, which is something I'm going to kind of look at the end of this draft, because whenever I have like a few 4-time weaknesses, I like to pair a lot more, just because no Mon will have enough coverage for all of it. So I love Scizor. It's a good Bandit user, a good Choice Scarf user. It even gets Baton Pass with like Sword Stance and Agility. IBL allows you to pass like 1 stat with Baton Pass, so hopefully later on this season I'll be able to do that with like Sword Stance or Agility, Baton Pass into like Garchomp. This thing gets Bullet Punch. It gives me my first hazard removal with Defog. It gets Knockoff, Iron Head. It has Recovery in Morning Sun and Roost. Another form of priority and quick attack. It has Pursuit if I predict something to switch out against me. It has Superpower, Sword Stance, Tailwind, and U-Turn. All great moves. I even sometimes like the Curse set just because it helps me raise my defenses and my attack. And with something at base 65 speed, you're not always going to care about your speed stat. So I'm really excited to see how Scizor does work this season. It's a great mon. It's so offensive and defensive at the same time. But I chose this over its Mega variant just because I don't like that you can't run items with the Mega. So if like I predict a fire type move, I can't run an Oka Berry to take it better. So Scizor is better in my opinion. So that's why. So next one I was thinking, I only have 1 rocker so far, and that's Garchomp. And I don't want to run rocks on it every week. I want something that's a little bit more reliable, bulkier, has good recovery in itself. So I drafted Necrozma. Necrozma is so good. It is so bulky, but it's slow. So that's kind of its problem, that it's so slow. But I'm fine with that just because Necrozma is like a lower tier Mew in my opinion. With 97 HP, 107 attack, 101 defense, 127 special attack, 89 SPDF, and 79 speed. So this thing can be bulky and crazy offensive at the same time. It gets Autotomize, Brick Break, Calm Mind, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Earth Power and Earthquake, Flash Cannon, Heat Wave, Hidden Powers, Ironhead knockoff Light Screen, Moonlight, Morning Sun, Photon Geyser, which is so good, ignores abilities, and it can be physical or special depending on my investment, which is amazing. Power Gem, what else does it gets Reflect, so it can be a screen setter, which is really good. Rock Polish, Shadow Claw, Signal Beam, Stealth Rock, like I said before, Stone Edge, and I love the stone stored power set with like Iron Defense and like Calm Mind, Rock Polish, Morning Sun, Sword Power, just because that can do so much damage against everything. Gets Thunderwave and Toxic, and if I feel like my opponent just outspeeds me too much, I can run a Trick Room set, which does a lot. Even gets Exizor. It can do so many things, which makes it so hard to prep for. So, I'm really excited to use Necrozma in this league. Usually, whenever I get Necrozma, it's in some sort of league that ends up dying really early on. But I don't expect that out of IBL because it's a well-known league. It's been going on since like Skype league days. So, I'm really excited for it. So, I start looking again at my team. I'm like, I should probably start on my Fire, Water, Grass core. I want another way to remove hazards. I want something that's bulky and can take hits and deal as much damage back. So, I decided to get the boy, Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise is so bulky and offensive at the same time. And with that Mega Launcher ability, it makes Water Pulse do more damage than Scald. Makes Dark Pulse and Aura Spear viable options. So, it has 79 HP, 103 attack, 120 defense, 135 special attack, 115 special defense, and 78 speed. It's like Necrozma where it's so bulky and offensive, but what holds it back is its speed, which I think is still okay because this thing isn't supposed to be like God mode attacker. It's just supposed to be defensive. I love it for its defensive abilities with Rapid Spin, Refresh, Scald, Haze, that kind of thing. It gets Ice Beam. It gets a multitude of moves. I've seen somebody sweep with Water Spout. Mega Blastoise gets 6 kills just because the opponent had no switch in. And this thing can do so much damage, like I've said before. It can phase things out. It can get rid of hazards. It can take many hits. And if you saw my NSTL match against D-Train, I used regular Blastoise and killed 2 mons with Counter and Mirror Coat, which I love using. I love Mirror Coat and Counter. And I just love Mega Blastoise, one of my favorite Pokemon. So, yeah, that's basically it. So here I wanted some more offense again. I wanted a good Choice Scarf first, so because right now Garchomp looks like it's going to be Choice Scarfed every week, so I want something else that could be Choice Scarf, so to give the pressure off the Garchomp. So I got the boy Darmanitan. Darmanitan hits so hard with the Sheer Force ability, with like Flare Blitz, Earthquake, Fire Punch, U-Turn. It's mainly gonna be clicking U-Turn and Flare Blitz, but it just does so much damage that it's gonna be exciting to use. 105 HP, 140 attack, 55 defense, 55 SPDF, 95 speed, and 30 special attack. So you may look at that HP and think, man, this thing's gonna be bulky offensive like the rest of his team, but it really isn't when you look at its defenses. But hopefully one match I'll be able to bring Zenmo Darmanitan and just like sweep. I don't know if this thing gets Trick Room. I don't think it does. But if it did, that'd be amazing. I love how offensive and how good of a Choice Scarf it is. It helps with my Volt Turn core with U-Turn. It hits so hard that even like the non-crazy bulky water types don't want to switch into it, like Seismitoad. As you see, that got taken before me. So, Darmanitan, you know what it does. It's Big Chungus. Like, you know, everybody knows Big Chungus. You gotta be afraid of Big Chungus. So, I wanted to, so with my next pick, I wanted to look more at some wish passing options for Mega Blastoise, because otherwise it does get chipped down easily. So, I decided to get the goodest boy of them all, Umbreon. And as you see before me, somehow Mega Mawile was still sitting there at round 7. which is crazy. Because normally that gets taken like early on in round 1. So I'm not here to talk about Mega Mawile. I'm here to talk about Umbreon. With it's not very offensive, but it's so good being defensive, taking a hit, wish passing, and just destroying teams. 95 HP, 65 attack, 110 defense, 60 special attack, 130 special defense, and 65 speed. This thing will never be a good good at damaging my opponent, because you'll mainly see like Foul Play, Wish Protect, Heal Bell, Toxic, Moonlight, Baton Pass. So I'm excited to see how good defensively this thing will do for me, because as I said before, it only can do so much, but what it does well. And anything else that was a Wish Passer I didn't really like on this team, like Vaporeon or Sylveon, I didn't like. So yeah, that was my opinion. And if I don't want to Wish Pass and I don't want to run Protect, I can run Moonlight just to heal this thing up. So that sounds good to me. So I wanted to finish my Firewater Grass course soon, and there weren't very many grass types that I liked that were left. There was Serena, but I've drafted that thing so many times, and I have it in PMC, so I didn't want to draft it again. So this time, I drafted my boy Chestnut. This thing is so bulky. It swept A-Drive in GBA with Belly Drum, Speed Pass from, what's it called, Scolipede. So I don't have Scolipede, but if I can Agility Pass from Scizor into Chestnut with Belly Drum, that'll be amazing. I'm excited to see how this thing does. Like I've said before, a lot of these mons I haven't drafted in a long time, or I've never drafted, so I'm really excited to use this team. As you can tell, this thing looks so defensive, and it really is. 88 HP, 107 attack, 122 defense, 74 special attack, 75 SpDef, and 64 speed. This thing is crazy physically defensive. It gives me another hazard setter with spikes. So the only thing I'm missing so far is like sticky webs and toxic spikes, but I'm fine without them. As you can tell, I'm probably not going to draft them with this. Sticky webs does look nice on this team, but there was nothing available that really fit this team. And I wasn't going to draft Smeargle just for sticky webs, because Smeargle's a trash mon and gets destroyed by a taunt. But this thing can be offensive with like Bulk Up or Belly Drum. Gets Drain Punch, Earthquake, Sub Focus Punch could be a cool set. Hammer Arm, Iron Head, Power Up Punch, like that'd be kind of fun. Power Up Punch, Drain Punch, Poison Jab. It gets a better Protect and Spiky Shield. So if a mon uses a physical move against it that touches it, it'll lose 1/8 of their HP. Gets Rest, Sleep Talk, which could be fun. Super Fang to destroy those stally kind of mons. Stall break them. Synthesis and Taunt. I can run Swords Dance if I don't want to run Belly Drum. Then Headbutt, Wood Hammer, Thunder Punch. It can do so many different things offensively while being defensive that it's going to be such a fun mon to use, like I've always said. So I got to round 8 and I was thinking, I met to round 9 and I was thinking, I don't have an electric type yet. What's still available? And because I was seeing that people were starting picking up like Jolteon, Heliolisk. I was thinking, I want to get my electric type before somebody else takes another good one. Let us go. But something I've literally never drafted before, and I don't know why. And it's my boy Zapdos. Zapdos is such a fun mon to use, especially now that it has static. So you can run static with defog. So that's going to be really fun. 30% chance to paralyze my opponents. This thing's another agility baton passer. Gives me another defogger with stats at 90 HP, 90 attack, 85 defense, 125 special attack, 90 special defense, and 100 speed. So this thing can't be like a dedicated wall, but it can be a good pivot. It gets U-turn and Volt Switch. It doesn't have very good special flying type moves outside of Air Cutter, but it does have Drill Peck, Extra Sensory, Heat Wave to deal with steel types. Light Screen and Reflect, Roar, so it can phase. It gets Roost, Signal Beam, Substitute, Tailwind. I really want to use Tailwind sometime this season. Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Toxic, U-Turn, Volt Switch, and Whirlwind. So, it's another great defensive, offensive mon, as you can try to tell. I was trying to draft, like, more sort of bulky offense. That's more my play style. Where I can just run, like, max HP, max speed, and just still hit extremely hard. So, yeah, I'm really excited to use Zapdos, like I've said. It's a really fun mon. I've had trouble breaking it before in other league matches, so I wanted to use it this league. So I was looking, I was thinking, I'm kind of weak. I'm weak to setup. I don't have very good like priority outside of Scizor, so I wanted something that deter setup, which I've loved this next one. I've drafted it in like almost every league I've been in, and it's no surprise when you have Ditto. Ditto, it doesn't do much outside of like Choice Scarf Imposter, but sometimes you don't even need to run Choice Scarf because your opponent will just predict you to do that. So you can run other items like Life Orb just to mess with your opponent. Where and all its stats is 48 across the board, but the only one you'll ever be investing really needs to be invested in is your HP, because that's the only stat you'll keep when you transform into a Pokemon. So, yep, not much to say about Ditto, but I love that it can just transform right into your opponent's Pokemon. It'll take their stat boost, and if you have a Choice Scarf, you might just be able to come in, imposter, and win. So, last one I picked, I was really surprised it was still there, and it was like extremely low on points on the point chart. Let me check. Yeah, it was only 40 points, which was insane to me. We had 1,000, so 40 points really didn't mean anything. And I feel like this was a steal for how many points it was at. I could easily see this being like 80 points. My last pick of the draft was Miltank. Gives me another Bulkymon, gives me another reliable Stealth Rocker. Has 3 great abilities in Thick Fat, Scrappy, and Sap Sipper. It does so much. It has 95 HP, 80 attack, 105 defense, 40 special attack, 70 Spadef, and 100 speed. It's great at being physically defensive. It gets Stealth Rock, Milk Drink. It gives me another Heal Beller, Earthquake, Fire Punch, Frustration, Heal Bell, Ice Punch, Iron Head, Power Up Punch. Why did I think this thing got cursed? I don't think it does. Yes, it does get cursed, so I could run like a Scrappy, Curse, Rest, Sleep Talk, Body Slam set. That could be fun. It's like Umbreon, where it basically only does one thing, but it does that one thing well in being a bulky Stealth Rocker. So, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will putting a link in the I'll put all the coaches' YouTube links in the description alongside my front office. They helped me draft a lot of this team. They helped me look at my weaknesses and that kind of stuff. So thank you to them. So as I said before, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below how you feel about this team. If you think there's any sort of transactions I should make, so and that kind of stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.